November is National Rice Awareness Month. Now, this is to remind us of the food staple importance, or rather an important role in Filipino culture, and to help promote sustainability in rice production and consumption. Joining us via Zoom is Samahan ng Industriya ng Agrikultura President Rosendo So. Magandang umaga po. Thank you very much for joining us.
Paulo, magandang umaga. Magandang umaga sa lahat.
Sir Rosendo, unang-una, pag-usapan muna natin ang assessment niyo po ng rice supply ng Pilipinas. Where are we on the road to hopefully rice self-sufficiency?
For now, sa tingin natin medyo mahirap, no? Dahil yung climate change, yun ang isang problema natin. Secondly is yung tariff reduction will not help the farmers to plant more area. So nakikita natin yung problema for now.
Well, sir, na-mention nyo nga yung climate change. We'll talk about that later on. But then the history of the Philippines in terms of a rice-producing nation, dati po, rice exporter tayo. But what has changed? What has gone wrong sa history ng bansa po natin that we've turned from a rice exporter to one of the top grain importers?
Yeah. Kung makita natin yung weather talaga, imagine for the past last month, almost six typhoon ang pumasok. No? So, ako, yung ani ko rin, bumagsak from 150 kaban. It went down to mga 80. So, bumaba yung tonnage na expected harvest. So, yun ang isang malaking problema natin, yung weather condition na pumasok dito sa ating bansa.
And of course, this affects the pricing for sure. How has it affected the prices today? And on average po, how can we get the prices of rice down? Because there was a point during the presidential campaign ni President Bongbong Marcos that there was a goal na 20 pesos per kilo to become the norm. How can that happen? How are the prices affected by the weather? What are we considering po with regards to all of that?
Yeah, Paulo, we have to consider first what happened about the war on Ukraine. No?
Yeah.
That affect the price of inputs, fertilizer, and of course the world market. All countries stocking rice for buffer. Natatakot lahat eh. So yun, nakakontribute yun sa pagtaas ng presyo. Yung 20 pesos na inaano ng ating Pangulo dati, kung siguro hindi nangyari yung pagtaas ng fuel. No? Kasi ang fuel, remember, Paulo, 23, ngayon nasa 56, double the price of 2018 price ng fuel. And of course, yung fertilizer din, ngayon nasa almost 1,000 plus. No? Dati nasa 800. So almost umabot pa ng 3,000. So talagang yung inputs dun sa price. So, yung tinitingnan natin yung world market, ang presyo ngayon ng bigas nasa $500 to $600 per metric ton. So, pagka sinasabi natin na 20 pesos na bigas, ang presyo dapat ng world market nasa $220 per ton. So, malayo dun sa 500 pesos, almost double. So, mahirap yung presyo na 20 pesos. Yung local din natin, yung production, ibig sabihin nun kung 20 pesos na bigas, is 10 pesos na palay. No? Ang palay is almost 20 pesos. So, malabo talaga yung 20 pesos na bigas for now. Maybe kung nag-stabilize ang international market and price, pwede natin ma-achieve yun.
Sir Rosendo, another thing that has affected the prices, you mentioned it a while ago, medyo nagsa-stockpile na dahil sa crisis in Ukraine, not just the Philippines, of course, other countries as well. There are also people who have tried to take advantage of this opportunity. May mga rice smuggling that we had to be talked about in the past. Has rice smuggling in the Philippines been addressed better as of late in the past few years? Is the government imposing siguro the right taxes to protect local farmers to ensure stable prices dito sa Pilipinas with regard to anong nangyayari externally?
So far, yung smuggling, meron pa rin. No? Kung bumaba, we think na mayroon nag-ship from other entry. No? Pero we don't think na yung tariff reduction did help the smuggling kasi tuloy smuggle na pumapasok. And kung makita natin yung tariff cut, hindi talaga nakatulong dun sa retail price ng bigas natin sa merkado. Dahil kung makita natin yung presyo, since July, inaano ng NEDA na bababa ng 29 pesos. Yan nung unang announcement niya, nung pinaperma kay Presidente. No? Sinabi niya na bababa ng 29. Pero kinorek ng Department of Agriculture yan na bababa lang ng 7 pesos. In spite of that, hindi rin bumaba yung presyo dun sa retail. So yung sinasabi ng Presidente natin, yung value chain siguro, yun ang dapat tingnan. Dahil yung imported price, kung makita natin yung price, no? Hindi dapat ang presyo ngayon ng retail na sa 42 pesos na lang. Pero wala pa rin. Sa 50 pesos to 60 pa rin ang presyo. So, hindi nakatulog yung pag-cut ng tariff.
So, Rizondo, we've seen throughout the past few weeks, the past few months, how agriculture has been affected by the multiple storms hitting the country. You take a look at the government support with regard to the recovery, with regard to yung relief efforts, and of course, trying to fill in that gap of crops lost due to a disaster. Just how would you rate yung government response po?
Yeah, Paolo, kung makita natin yung support ng ating government talagang buhos sa agriculture, no? Wala akong masabi na negative dun sa pagtulong ng ating Pangulo and of course si Secretary Kiko Laurel na talagang umikot, no? The other day, nasa Pampanga sila, punta sila sa Isabela and puntang Pangasinan. So talagang tinutukan nila ang ating local farmer. Ang problema talaga, yung calamity na pumasok malaki, no? And hirap talaga ang ating government to help na 100%. But yung crop insurance na sinasabi ng ating Pangulo and ang ating DA Secretary ay dapat sundan, no? Na dapat yung mga magsasaka. And this, it can help to minimize the losses from our farmers.
President Rosendo, obviously you are part of a group that is advocating for agriculture. You're part of a group that is affected by climate change, affected by all of these issues coming from government policy, coming from external issues. What are the projects your organization is trying to push for the most? What are the concerns that you feel need to be prioritized with regard to the overall health of yung agriculture natin dito sa Pilipinas?
Yeah, Paolo, ang ano natin is modernization pa rin. And of course, we want to see how other country produce rice in their country. Kaya pupunta tayo sa grassroots communication with our farmers and of course inibita tayo sa other countries, no? Like China or
Yeah.
province, no? And looking for their production, and we will be having exchange sa farmers production side para makita natin yung production nila doon compared dito sa ating bansa. And of course, hindi lang yung price ang tinitingnan natin, pati yung swine
Yeah.
pinunta in Vietnam to see their vaccination. So tuloy-tuloy yung natin to reach out our local farmers and hopefully to learn from other countries para at least lumakas ang ating production.
So, Rosendo, just before I let you go, you mentioned the modernization. Just for a quick last question here, how far behind are we in terms of modernizing and keeping in pace with the other global producers?
So far, we are on the track, no, sa modernization. Kung makita mo yung rice tariffication law, really help to mechanize our farmers. Yung mga iba nga sabi, di ba, yung labor part, sinasabing nawala yung mga naka-harvest na magsasaka. Pero may ibang trabaho na pwedeng gawin na in which kung yung harvest natin dati umabot ng 2 months, ganun. No? Ngayon, ang bilis. Within 15 days, kayang i-harvest yung crop natin. Yung damage, lumiit, no? Dahil kung wala yung ganung kabilis na harvest, siguro mas malaki pa yung losses natin.
Maraming salamat po. Thank you very much for joining us this morning and educating us on the agriculture sector here in the Philippines. Once again, that is SINAG President Rosendo So. Maraming salamat po.